Alright, so welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice, in which we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. Now, today we are going to discuss current affairs from 25th of July 2024, and we are going to discuss those current affairs through 4 to 5 MCQs. Now, needless to say, this lecture series is very important for you. Why? Because if you make this lecture series a part of your daily routine, if it becomes your daily habit, 4 to 5 MCQs daily would amount to more than 100 MCQs in a month and 1200 MCQs in 1 year. And 1200 MCQs for your prelims examination next year from current affairs alone are more than enough. As far as current affairs are concerned, you need not worry about them for your next year's prelims examination. But that would happen only if you make this lecture series a part of your daily routine, practice 4 to 5 MCQs daily with me, and you'll be spending just 10 minutes daily. But it would amount to a lot by the time you're ready for your prelims next year. All right? So without further ado, let's start with question number 1 for current affairs of 25th July. All right? So question number 1. Consider the following regarding GM mustard or DMH11. It was created by Center for Genetic Manipulation of Crop Plants by introducing two alien genes, Barnase and Barstar. Mustard plant is a self-pollinating plant with both male and female reproductive organs. GM mustard is undergoing field trials since its environmental release was allowed in 2022. Alright. Now, GM crops, as you guys all know, genetically modified crops, what happens is a particular crop's DNA is modified, genes are modified. Alright. So, mustard crops or genetically modified mustard crop is known as GM mustard. Its official name is DMH11, which stands for Dhara Mustard Hybrid. Alright. Now, this Dhara mustard hybrid was created by Center for Genetic Manipulation of Crop Plants. Okay. And Center for Genetic Manipulation of Crop Plants is part of Delhi University. So, it was created by this. Alright. And how did they create GM mustard or DMH11? Well, they introduced two alien genes into the genetic makeup of mustard plant. These two alien genes were Barnase and Barstar. By introducing two genes, yield of mustard crop increases. Okay, so first statement is absolutely correct. Now, in our country, whenever you innovate with respect to genetic modification of plants or innovation regarding GM crops, goes through a particular pattern for environmental release or commercial release. Okay, so whenever an institute innovates with respect to GM crops, they first submit the data or they first submit that crop to Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, GEAC. If GEAC says that this particular crop is safe and it should be allowed to be sown in the field or environmental release, then GEAC recommends the environmental release of that crop to Ministry of Environment. And Ministry of Environment gives final approval. Alright? Now the same thing happened with GM mustard. What happened was in 2015, CGMCP submitted GM mustard to GEAC. GEAC approved it and gave it to Ministry of Environment. Ministry of Environment also approved that in 2022. Okay, they allowed for its environmental release and field studies to be conducted. But some environmental activists went to Supreme Court and stayed its environmental release. So currently, GM mustard has not been released environmentally. There are no field trials going on. All right. So this statement is false. But about mustard plant is a self-pollinating plant with both male and female reproductive organs. This is absolutely correct. It has both male and female reproductive organs, and that is why it is a self-pollinating plant. So only two statements are correct. The correct answer is B. Okay. Question number 2. Which of the following statements regarding India AI mission are correct? It aims to build a capacity of more than 10,000 GPUs in the next 5 years. The mission is implemented by Digital India Corporation and Department of Science and Technology. The AI computing infrastructure shall be built through a public-private partnership. All right. Now, recently, first round of funding has been allocated for India AI mission, which was launched last year. Now, what is India AI mission? So, India AI mission, as you guys all know, the mission is dedicated to developing AI in India. All right. Now, as far as artificial intelligence is concerned, it has two components: hardware component and software component. Software would be these applications like ChatGPT, DAL-E, Llama, all right? The applications of AI are software, and on which hardware these applications run is known as hardware, all right? Now, we all know about software for AI, these applications, but what sort of hardware is required for these AI programs to run? There are a particular type of chips, microchips, that are used for running AI, artificially intelligent machines. These chips are known as graphics processing units, GPUs. Currently, NVIDIA, a US based company, has the monopoly over manufacturing of GPUs, but GPUs. Now, GPUs is being manufactured by one company, though there are many companies, but kind of monopoly is with NVIDIA. Now, India wants to have self-reliance with respect to GPUs so that we are not dependent on any one particular company for our AI software to run. So under India AI mission, India plans to create a manufacturing capacity of 10,000 GPUs in the next 5 years. Okay, so this is one of the main aims or objectives of India AI mission. All right. Now, this mission was launched for a period of 5 years, absolutely, and its budget is round about 10,372 crores for the next 5 years. All right. Now, this mission will be implemented by India Business Division of Digital India Corporation. Okay. So, Digital India Corporation over here is correct. And Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, METI. Not Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Okay, so Digital India Corporation over here is correct, but Department of Science and Technology is not, so this is false. Now, it is said that this 10,000 GPU infrastructure shall be created by collaborating with private sector. So it will be based on public-private partnership. And out of these 10,000 crores, around 4,000 crores will be dedicated towards these public-private partnership models. All right. So this statement is also correct. The correct answer would be D. Question number 3. Which of the following statements regarding lab-grown meat are correct? Singapore is the first and only country to allow cell-cultivated meat for commercial sale. It involves isolation of stem cells from an animal and keeping them in a bioreactor for multiplication. Okay, so what is lab grown meat? You don't slaughter animals, you generate meat in labs. Now, how do you do that? So, there are 4 steps for generating lab grown meat. Okay, by the way, lab grown meat is also known as cell cultivated meat. It is actually the official name of lab grown meat. Okay, so what are those four steps? First, you'll isolate stem cells from the animal. Suppose you want to have pork, okay, a pig's meat. So you'll identify a pig and you'll isolate some stem cells from that pig. Then you'll put those stem cells in a bioreactor for multiplication. Enough cells have multiplied in that bioreactor, you would generate, these cells would combine to form muscle fibers. And these muscle fibers will be clumped together to form meat. Okay, these are the 4 steps. Now, Singapore was the first country to allow sale of lab-grown meat in 2022, and there is a reason for that. Because Singapore is a very small country; it is a city-state. It does not have any farmlands, many farmlands. So, as far as food is concerned, they are import dependent. Singapore's population is import dependent for food. Hence, for self-reliance, they are going for lab-grown meat. All right. So Singapore was the first country in 2022 to allow lab-grown meat, but then eventually USA followed in 2022. So it was the first country, but not the only country. USA and many states in USA are growing lab-grown meat. So this is false. Now, it involves isolation of stem cells from an animal and keeping them in a bioreactor for multiplication, as I've explained before. This is correct. So only 2 would be correct. All right. And last, question number 4. Consider the following statements regarding Chang'e mission. It was a lunar mission named after Chinese goddess of moon. The key objective of the mission was to bring 2 kg of lunar rocks and other debris back to Earth. Chinese scientists have found water molecules inside the samples brought by Chang'e 5. Alright. Now, Chang'e mission is China's lunar mission. Okay. And China has launched 4 versions of Chang'e mission before. So it was Chang'e 1, Chang'e 2, Chang'e 3. This was Chang'e 5. Chang'e, why does China name its mission Chang'e? Because Chang'e is the name of ancient Chinese goddess of moon. So this is correct. All right. Now, what was the purpose of Chang'e 5 mission? So basically what China did was they launched a spacecraft, landed it on moon. Then that spacecraft actually drilled into the moon soil, lunar soil, collected 2 kg of material and then flew back to Earth to bring that 2 kg of lunar soil to China for analysis. Alright, so the key objective of the mission was to bring 2 kg of lunar rocks and other debris back to Earth. This is also correct. Now, while this was a successful mission, 2 kg of lunar rocks were brought back to China. Okay, now scientists are currently analyzing that material. Now, while analyzing, China found that there are water molecules in these lunar rocks. So China has confirmed the presence of water on moon. All right. So that is why this mission was in the news. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I hope it added value to your preparation. I'm sure it is adding value to your preparation because if you're regular with this lecture series, it's definitely adding value because you're getting the much needed MCQ practice as well as your current affairs are getting revised. So make sure you make this lecture series a part of your daily routine, and I'll see you tomorrow with the current affairs through MCQs of 26th July. Thank you, everyone. By the way, one more thing before signing off. The entire notes for this lecture, I mean to say these 4 questions along with their detailed solution, you can find the entire PDF file for the notes of this lecture on our Telegram channel. Okay, the link for our Telegram channel would be posted in the comment section below. All right, so make sure you check that out. Yeah, now it's time for me to sign off. Thank you, everyone.